Good afternoon, Excellencies, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 6th Raisina Dialogue. On behalf of the ORF and the Ministry of External Affairs, let me wish you all a very engaging 4 days with us. We have a very special lineup this afternoon of speakers to inaugurate this dialogue. It is an honor and privilege to have Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, give the inaugural address this year. It is also my privilege to welcome President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, and the Prime Minister of Denmark, Mette Frederiksen, as our special guests for the inaugural session. As always, we have an exclusive lineup of high-level policy makers, business leaders, experts, and civil society leaders to discuss global cooperation and immediate themes that will challenge all of us in the days ahead. The theme of the dialogue this year is apt. It's called Viral World, Outbreaks, Outliers, and Out of Control. We have 50 sessions spread across 4 days, mix of conversations, keynotes, and of course, some fast-paced messages and jingles. With participation from 150 speakers across 50 countries, we hope to have brought a diverse group of thinking on the table. 2,000 attendees have pre-registered from over 80 countries, and many will join us through our various social media handles. This year, we will focus on 5 key areas to explore. The first, of course, has to be on multilateralism, its future, its relevance, and its reconstruction. We are going to be investigating the challenges we face as businesses and countries on securing and diversifying our supply chains. We have to find ways of holding bad actors to account, whether it is big tech or big nations. We will have to devise means to ensure that rules are there for everyone. We will have to respond to the challenges of the no-truth world, of the infodemic that has accompanied the pandemic, and this is one major pillar of our explorations at this edition. And finally, we want to build back better. It needs to be green. It needs to be led by a diverse group of leaders. It needs to have gender first as an approach. And this is going to be one of our key conversations or set of conversations that we shall host at the Raisina Dialogue. We are also launching 7 publications. ORF, my colleagues, have put together a very impressive set of research papers, essays, and ideas that we are sharing with you on the occasion of this dialogue. The first, of course, is our flagship annual journal, Raisina File, titled The Viral World, Can We Respond?, which brings together essays from around the world. We are launching a GPORF series, which is a compilation of essays by our young fellows from Raisina from last year and their journey through this tumultuous 2020-2021 period. We are launching a book on India's economic diplomacy. We are launching a paper on Solar Finance Corporation. And of course, we are launching a green industrial roadmap for India, whose actions are going to implicate the global future. And finally, we are doing a survey of 5G readiness and capabilities across the Indo-Pacific, which we are sharing with our audience on the occasion of the Raisina Dialogue. But before I move to a few thank yous, we must take a moment, pause and reflect on all those that we have left and lost in the last year. It has been certainly a painful moment for many of us. Many of us have lost loved ones. Some of us have grappled with the disease. Many of us have been scarred by the happenings of the previous year. We must also be grateful and acknowledge the contributions of all the frontline workers, the health workers, the city and political leadership, and others who have worked tirelessly to ensure we remain safe. It is the time to acknowledge their contributions to our lives. We are grateful to them. At the dialogue, we remain grateful for the support of the Ministry of External Affairs, without whom this would not have been possible. We are also grateful to all the partners who have continued to support the Raisina dialogue over the years, including in this very important year, and we hope to deepen these partnerships in the days ahead. I want to thank each one of you who's joined us online, who's going to participate in this year's dialogue, for having remained connected with us. Without you, the dialogue is incomplete. Without you, it has little meaning. Thank you so much for your support over the years. With this, let me now invite Chairman of the Observer Research Foundation, Mr. Sunjoy Joshi, to deliver his opening remarks.
Excellencies, stakeholders, participants, and the audience joining us online from different time zones from around the world. Welcome to Raisina 2021. 2020 jolted the world. COVID-19 didn't merely afflict the world, but rather it struck at the roots of some of our fundamental societal norms. It challenged our economic assumptions, tested our business principles, and put every political and organizational principle of ours under the severest stress. So this year's theme, Viral World, Outbreaks, Outliers, and Out of Control, is a response to the cataclysmic shock that still continues to rock our world. For Raisina too, we have had to change styles, transform formats. We've gone entirely online. But let me tell you, we may be physically distanced, but are determined to remain socially and intellectually connected through this platform. History tells us that tumultuous times like these alter power dynamics. They leave a lasting impact on the world order. COVID-19 struck a global order that was already flailing. A recently born hyper-connected world was discovering inconsistencies and contradictions in the very pillars of globalization it had been complacently resting on. COVID-19 came as the perfect storm. Being internally self-sufficient in a crumbling globalized landscape suddenly seemed the most important social good to strive for. As a corollary, it was also inevitable that simmering rivalries would unfold. The pandemic, as early in history, has also provided revisionist powers an opportunity to push their boundaries, and with those boundaries, also their agendas. But this is a new century. Even as nations bicker, the hyper-connectedness of the digital age in a world already knitted together through complex supply chains, connected by global flows of finance and information, make this time unlike any similar period in the past. Therefore, I just make two simple propositions for Raisina 2021. First, it is not possible to live life entombed perpetually in PPE gear. Second, let us remember, no one is safe until everyone is safe. Rather than write obituaries for international governance, the most pressing requirement is for a desperate intensification of multilateralism. A virus that respects no national boundaries cannot be allowed to divide us. The response to this pandemic has to be that of one humanity joined in battle, not against itself, but rather the virus. For corona is not the only pandemic at our door. Others, more challenging, such as crushing poverty, inequity, multiple forms of terror, and the infodemic of misinformation are waiting. If anything, all of them warn us of the inescapable, inherent connectedness of our civilization. They all remind us that pandemics such as these throw us in a situation where we must learn to either swim together or otherwise we just sink together. This is not the time to be harking back to a pre-pandemic normal. There's an urgency to find consensus on norms for universal healthcare, climate justice, for flows of data and information, for new technologies. norms that place the well-being of the human at the center of things. This is the time to ask how the crisis can spur us to embrace an approach rooted in sustainable and equitable living for all. To conclude, the 1920s actually became the first decade to have a nickname. It was called the Roaring Twenties. History should not be allowed to remember these years as a whimpering 20s. That is the hope to build back better, that makes us gather diverse voices at this difficult time for 4 days of insightful and thought-provoking conversations that can pave the way for a more inclusive and resilient global system. Thank you and happy 4 days of resounding discussions.
Thank you, Mr. Joshi. It is now my pleasure to invite the President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, to deliver his important message to all of us.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to address this year's Raisina Dialogue